All right, we got the late game tonight. Warriors, Lakers. I will say this. Last year, this time, we were talking a lot of Bronny. We don't have to do that today. Good news for you. But you did say last year that they weren't very serious because of that. So now that we've fast-forwarded, how do you feel about the Lakers coming into this season?
Well, obviously you have to start with, the head of the snake, which is, now LUKA. I think he's off to a good start. He's shown focus throughout the offseason, the end of last season, going into the offseason, and now in the beginning of this season. He showed a lot of focus and commitment with, getting his body in a good place, showing that he's ready to lead this team this season and actually go out and compete for a championship. So with that, I think that's a great start. I'm not a fan of, Bron not starting the season. Obviously, you can't control certain things, and injuries are a part of the game. He's also, really up in age, so, you can't control that part, obviously. But, moving forward this season, I think they do have, plans of, competing this season, but, how complete this team is and how, good their chemistry early on is a big determinant factor in that.
We'll have to find out all at once today. I know. How much stock in game one do you really put in?
I mean, listen, it's the start. It's the beginning. You want to get off to a good start, especially when LeBron James is out. And when you talk about LUKA, it's you know how talented he is, right? You know he can go and get 35, 40 points on any given night. On this team, this roster, I think it's about how efficient he can be and how he can take care of the ball. Maybe that's not his role each and every night to go and get 40 and take 25 three shots. It's to get AR going. It's to get Rui going. It's to let LeBron kind of continue to do what he's been doing his entire career. So it's never going to be about LUKA's talent or his style of play that's going to get this team good. It's going to call for something different every single night, but you better believe he's going to be aggressive. He is going to come out guns blazing. He's in great shape. We all know that. We all saw the Men's Health magazine.
Woohoo!
It's real. You see how he looks thin. I've never seen him in this good of shape.
Real?
You know what I love about basketball? Everybody's supposed to be in shape.
Yeah, but he looked really good at this.
There are
magazine
levels
cover.
to shape, though, too.
That doesn't mean he's going to play faster.
It does not
that
mean
doesn't mean any of
No,
those
he's going to be the
things.
same
He's
player.
still going to have the same styles of play.
No, but he was called fat all last season.
He was
He was an MVP candidate.
He got fat shamed a bit.
Whatever.
He got fat shamed.
So what? He still was an MVP
Agreed.
candidate and will be for the entirety of his career, if barring no injuries. But we always just talk about somebody's shape and what type of shape they're in. I think he's going to be fine. I think the Lakers are going to be fine. The questions for me is they're going to have to be almost a 30 to 40 assist team. Like, that ball is going to have to move. It can't stick. They're going to have to play fast, and there goes to Chandler's point. He's going to have to get a lot of different guys involved. So I think this is going to be a great test for both of these teams. We have an age question with Golden State. We want to see what this lineup looks like in L.A., especially with LeBron being out and LUKA being the head of that snake. So both teams got questions to be answered, but LUKA's in shape. I don't put a lot of stock into that to be anything different than what it's always been.
Even when he's out of shape, he's awesome. So does it really matter what his body physically looks like?
Personally, for him, look, if you spend a year calling me fat, it's not going to change how I do my job, but you're damn sure I'm coming back ripped just because I feel better.
100%.
Because it was rude. It was a very rude year for him. I think to hear it.
I think all that's great when it comes to LUKA. I think we all know what he brings to the game offensively. For me, the step I want to see him take is on the defensive end. I think that's where it really starts with this Lakers team. And obviously, none of us are thinking he's going to be Gary Payton on defense, but just committing to that side of the ball and actually going out and leading the team and leading by example, I think that elevates the Lakers team.
Gary Payton, another point guard, great.
I agree.
There's the list. Scottie Pippen does not believe that LUKA's specific style of play is going to be conducive to getting back to the finals. He also, part of that was claiming that win, that 2024 run, was a one-off feat. Interesting, Chandler. Scottie Pippen with the opinion.
Scottie has some zingers. He had some zingers last year. Yeah. I disagree. He's done it before. He'll do it again. I think he is an insane elite talent. He's going to continue to get better. He makes guys around him better as well. As aggressive as he is and as talented of a scorer he is, Austin Reaves' numbers went up when he came to Lakers, which I did not think was going to happen, and it still did because he still finds ways with whether it's JJ's rotations, whether it's the system, whether it's the offense. He creates for others. When you give him a lob threat like a Jackson Hayes and now a DeAndre Ayton, who's kind of that mobile big, he's not really accustomed to playing with. I think he's going to continue to get better. And again, this was such a change. This was such a him just uproaring his life and moving, going to different teams unexpectedly. He's still kind of getting in that phase, getting to know, getting comfortable, developing that chemistry. So I think every single game you see Luka playing with this current roster, he's going to get better and better. And he is the player you can build around to win a championship.
But why is that so far off what Scottie is saying?
I mean, we did show a montage of him just doing it all by himself. Like,
Which is
that's
fine.
probably what he means.
When James was, at the peak of his career, that was one of the same narratives that was going along with his game. Now, that style of play isn't going to win championships. And everybody was on board with that. So why is it now, a change in tune when it comes to Luka, who plays a very, very similar style?
Well, because he's done it. Like
he's done what?
He's been there. Like,
we went to the finals.
He's been there, so it's not like we don't
really
have
had no
any.
business
He hasn't
getting
won
there.
it, though.
Yeah, they had
No, but
business
he
being there.
correct. He
James
hasn't-
has been really, really close as well. But the point I'm trying to make, it's the same similar style.
They're similar
of play,
offensive minds.
But,
It's a similar
one
style
style
of
can
play.
win and the other one can't.
But the difference between those two, very simple to me. You've seen one actually get to an opportunity to win that title. Fall short, but he's there. So when you see that, if you make some adjustments, like we're talking about shape, and we're talking about him making other guys better, when you see him getting better and better and he's already been to the finals, why can't he get back?
I think those talks also came later in James Harden's career. He's 26 years old, and I mean, like, so I think when Houston Rockets, when I played with them, I thought we were going to win. Like, I thought we were going to get there. Like, I thought I was perfectly okay with playing a guy who had that much attention, who was unbelievable with the ball. My highest points I've ever averaged in my career was with James Harden, who is a scorer, right? So, like, I think it goes both ways. He's not going to be a two-way player. I don't think he'll ever turn into that, but he is elite, and there are some spooky similarities to their games offensively.
Evan Turner said, a lot of opinions on the Lakers, you can't win a title with Austin Reaves as your third best player. Lou, agree with that?
I don't know why he would say that, but what I will say is, Austin Reaves did get better with playing next to Luka. Got his average up, guys averaging five plus assists, still playing with Luka, averaging 20 points, still playing with Luka. And so if you're knocking him to the third spot of that, I would love to have an opportunity to have my third option be a 20-5 guy to give me an opportunity to win games. Like if you take it, I'm gonna steal this from Bobby Portis. If you put your finger over Austin Reaves' face and say your third option is a 20-5 guy,
You'll take it.
will you take that and give you an opportunity to win championships? I would say yes. So I don't know what it is about Austin Reaves that'll make him say that, but any guy that's at 20-5, I think he would give you an opportunity to win a championship.
His numbers don't lie. Sure, on paper, does Austin Reaves, is he the third best player on a championship team? Maybe not to some people, but who's two? Is the two a 40-year-old LeBron James? Like, who's your 1-2? Are they healthy? How's your bench? Is your sixth man averaging 18 points a game? Are you deep? Are you a top 10 defensive team? So I think a lot of that goes into a championship team, not necessarily just the pecking order of 1, 2, 3. So Austin Reaves, and also Austin Reaves, when Luka or LeBron are out, he does kind of fill in that number one spot and goes like bananas when he has the ball in his hands. He creates the offense. So
that's different.
No, I'm just saying. So he does have that capability. I'm just saying he
Okay.
has that capability to kind of run an offense and go play through him. So as a third option at 20-5 or 18-5, pretty good numbers for a third option. So
I think it's some truth in what Evan Turner is saying, but I think it's also situational. And obviously, if you're the third option behind LeBron James and Luka Doncic, and you're averaging 20-5, I think that's a recipe that could be
that
can
works.
help.
Pretty good.
That can work.
Yeah,
If Austin Reaves is the third option in Golden State, I think that works. So it's certain situations where he could be a third option and it works. And in some, if he's a third option in, let's say,
Orlando, Memphis,
it might not be
But also,
the
like,
same situation.
when Boston won and Derek White or Drew Holiday was the third option, I don't think their numbers were as good as Austin Reaves, and they won a championship.
Yeah, but they're more defensive
their
players.
impacts were different.
Exactly. So the other questions surrounding the team are more important than
it's not that simple.
who's the 3 or 2 or 4. You know what I mean?
That's why I asked for context about this question. Like, where is this coming from? Because, again, a lot of guys you put in that third spot, if you're getting that deep into the season and your third option is a 20-5 guy, I'm like, I like my chance.
Yeah.
I like my shot.
And Jaylen Brown might be a more productive 2 right now than a 40-year-old LeBron James is. So that also matters.
Correct.
Can we just point to Steph for a second? They will be on the floor as well. At 37 years old, is going to become the 10th player ever to play all 17 or more seasons with one team. I don't know, Chandler. Is there a drop-off worry for you?
I mean, I think it's sad because all these guys that we're used to, accustomed to playing, the CPs, the Russ, James, Bron, KD, Steph, I think naturally with their age, you're going to see a slight drop-off and a lack of production. But I think we just got to embrace while we still have him. These guys are legends. He's got our first ballot Hall of Famer. So, yeah, they might not be the exact same player we're accustomed to, but they're still unbelievable. And Steph Curry is still the best shooter to ever touch a basketball. He's still going to amaze you on certain nights with the shots he takes and the shots he makes. So, yeah, I think statistically last year his numbers took a little bit of a hit. And he's 37 years old, 17th season. Like, they're naturally going to do that, and you're going to start seeing the offense kind of go a little bit more Jimmy Butler. You're going to maybe see a little more leeway with Kuminga to kind of relieve some of those duties from Steph Curry, giving his years of service and his age. So, sure, is there going to be a lack of production? Yeah, but who cares? They've been doing it for so long.
He's been on the same team. He's done a lot of that time with the same coach. I think they're smart enough to make adjustments in his age and where he is in his career. You got to find easier ways for him to get baskets. Like, I don't want to see a 37-year-old Steph Curry work extremely hard to get all of his buckets and try to put points on the board, running off a bunch of screens, doing all of those things. You got to make it more efficient for him. You got to make the game easier for him. And I think Steve Kerr is the type of coach that can do that for Steph Curry to make this a successful run for him in his 17th year.
Of all those names I just named, is Steph the one that can play the longest just because his shooting ability?
I believe so, but my issue, what you said earlier, it was one
Get him,
thing,
Boogie.
and it was we gotta stop limiting Steph's greatness by just labeling him as the greatest shooter of all time. I think it's so much more that's in his game
of all time.
Besides shooting. Obviously, he's the greatest shooter of all time, but the way he finishes around the basket, the way he handles the ball, everything else he brings. The floaters, it's a lot more to his game besides just shooting. So I kind of get irritated when people just say, "Oh, he's the greatest shooter of all time."
You know,
I think that's just what you think.
There's so much more to his game.
It's so much more. I think he's one of the best.
He's one of the greatest small finishers ever.
I was about to say, I don't think he gets the credit for his finishing. We always talk about Kyrie Irving and how he can finish.
Yeah.
We don't give Steph Curry the same amount of respect when it comes to him finishing around the basket. But he shoots the ball so well.
Exactly.
When you change the game, when you evolve the game, and you make young kids around the world want to be you at 6'2" and 6'3", based on your shooting ability, that's gonna be a big part.
People want to shoot like Steph Curry. People want to finish like Steph Curry.
I just get a little irritated as far as he's the greatest shooter.
Wow,
no, he's great.
He's also
in general.
He's also probably the greatest conditioned NBA player of all time.
Absolutely.
Like, kids should try and emulate that too.
Is he the greatest man ever?
I think he's the best.
Great role model.
There we go. Take a quick break. Prop party on the other side.
Next to Wemby.
Yeah.